Another day, another story. Keir Starmer is a British politician and barrister who has been serving as the leader of the Labour Party and the leader of the opposition in the United Kingdom since April 2020. Born on September 2, 1962, he was named after the Labour Party's first parliamentary leader, Keir Hardie. Before entering politics, Starmer had a distinguished career in law. Welcome to Taboo Eminent Channel. He served as Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and head of the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, from 2008 to 2013. As DPP, he was known for his efforts to improve transparency and accountability within the CPS and for his work on various high-profile cases. Early life and education. Keir Starmer was born in Southwark, London, and grew up in Oxted, Surrey. He attended Reigate Grammar School and went on to study law at the University of Leeds, followed by postgraduate studies at St Edmund Hall, Oxford. Legal career. Starmer's legal career began as a barrister, specialising in human rights law. He became a Queen's Counsel, QC, in 2002. His work in the legal field earned him a reputation as a committed advocate for human rights and social justice. In 2008, he was appointed Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, and head of the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS. Political career. In 2015, Keir Starmer was elected as the Labour MP for Holborn and St Pancras, succeeding Frank Dobson. His entry into politics was seen as a significant boost for the Labour Party, given his legal expertise and strong track record in public service. Role in Brexit. As the Shadow Secretary of State for exiting the European Union from 2016 to 2020, Starmer played a crucial role in shaping Labour's approach to Brexit. He advocated for a second referendum on the final Brexit deal and sought to protect workers' rights and environmental standards in the process. Leadership of the Labour Party. Following Labour's defeat in the 2019 general election, Jeremy Corbyn stepped down as party leader. Keir Starmer won the subsequent leadership contest and became the leader of the Labour Party on April 4, 2020. His leadership campaign focused on unity, integrity, and rebuilding trust with the electorate. Challenges and achievements. As leader, Starmer has faced significant challenges, including navigating the party through the COVID-19 pandemic, addressing internal divisions, and positioning Labour as a credible alternative to the Conservative government. He has emphasized the need for economic recovery, social justice, and strong public services. Starmer's leadership style is often described as pragmatic and cautious, reflecting his legal background. Personal life. Keir Starmer is married to Victoria Alexander, a solicitor, and they have 2 children. He was knighted in 2014 for services to law and criminal justice. Despite his knighthood, he prefers not to use the title, Sir, in his political career, emphasizing his working-class roots and commitment to public service. Starmer's story is one of dedication to public service, both in law and politics. His legal expertise and commitment to justice have shaped his approach to leadership, as he seeks to guide the Labour Party towards electoral success and greater influence in British politics. Starmer was elected as the Member of Parliament, MP, for Holborn and St Pancras in 2015. He became a prominent figure in the Labour Party, particularly for his role in the Brexit process, where he was the Shadow Secretary of State for exiting the European Union from 2016 to 2020. His leadership of the Labour Party has focused on rebuilding the party and presenting a credible alternative to the Conservative government. Keir Starmer vowed to bring change to Britain as its next Prime Minister after his Labour Party surged to a comprehensive win in a parliamentary election on Friday, ending 14 years of often tumultuous Conservative government. Change begins now, Starmer said in a victory speech. We said we would end the chaos, and we will. We said we would turn the page, and we have. Today, we start the next chapter, begin the work of change, the mission of national renewal, and start to rebuild our country. Sunak had earlier conceded defeat and said he had called Starmer to congratulate him on his victory. Today power will change hands in a peaceful and orderly manner, with goodwill on all sides, Sunak said after regaining his seat. There is much to learn and reflect on, and I take responsibility for the loss to the many good hard-working Conservative candidates. I am sorry. Advertisement scroll to continue. Despite his convincing victory, polls have suggested there is little enthusiasm for Starmer or his party, and he comes to power at a time when the country is facing a series of daunting challenges. Britain's tax burden is set to hit its highest since just after World War II, net debt is almost equivalent to annual economic output, living standards have fallen, and public services are creaking, especially the much-cherished National Health Service, which has been dogged by strikes. He has already had to scale back some of Labour's more ambitious plans, such as its flagship green spending pledges, while he has promised not to raise taxes for working people. Rise of reform. Much of the heavy damage to the Conservative support was inflicted by the right-wing populist Reform UK party, headed by Brexit campaigner Nigel Farage, who had campaigned strongly on curbing immigration. Reform has captured 4 seats, with Farage himself finally being elected to Parliament at his 8th attempt, and won more votes than the Conservatives across swaths of the country. There is a massive gap on the centre-right of British politics, and my job is to fill it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, a triumphant Farage said. Believe me, folks, this is just the first step of something that is going to stun all of you. The growth in support for a populist alternative echoed recent similar results in Europe, where the far right have been surging. But, unlike France, where Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party made historic gains in an election last Sunday, overall the British public has plumped for a centre-left party to bring about change. Starmer has promised to improve relations with the European Union to resolve issues created by Brexit, just as far-right politicians are enjoying success. However, despite opposing Brexit, rejoining the EU is not on the table. He may also have to work with Donald Trump in the United States if he wins November's presidential election. Trump has already sent his congratulations to his friend and supporter Farage, via his social media platform Truth Social. Turnaround. The election victory represents an incredible turnaround for Starmer and Labour, which critics and supporters said was facing an existential crisis just 3 years ago when it appeared to have lost its way after its 2019 drubbing. But a series of Conservative scandals, most notably revelations of parties in Downing Street during COVID lockdowns, undermined then Prime Minister Boris Johnson, and its commanding poll leads evaporated. Liz Truss' disastrous 6-week premiership, which followed Johnson being forced out at the end of 2022, cemented the decline, and Sunak was unable to make any dent in Labour's now commanding poll lead. Sunak stunned Westminster and many in his own party by calling the election earlier than he needed to in May, with the Conservatives trailing Labour by some 20 points in opinion polls, and his campaign then proved a disaster. We deserved to lose. The Conservative Party just appears exhausted and out of ideas, Ed Costello, the chairman of the Grassroots Conservatives organization, which represents rank-and-file members, told Reuters. But it is not all Rishi Sunak's fault. It is Boris Johnson and Liz Truss that have led the party to disaster. Rishi Sunak is just the fall guy. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.